and Aaron Schreiber, brought to you by Arlo Revolution. Each week, they connect melodies and memories with bands and singer-songwriters from all genres of life. When all else in life is gone, music will be left to leave the legacy of life's adventures. Please welcome your hosts of the Melodies and Memories podcast, Jillian and Aaron Schreiber.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Feel weird. It's a Wednesday night.
Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Weird for Wednesday. Huh?
We're a little off.
We got a little Nashville trip coming up in a couple of days. So we're able to announce our lineup for Sunday. So we're excited for a big writers round Sunday at Live Oak. Man, this is gonna be amazing.
It'll be a good weekend for sure.
Hell of a lineup,
super excited
too.
to see everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited. How are we sounding on your end?
I think we're sounding okay. Everybody listen. You guys hear everything okay?
Yeah, if you're in the chat, let us know how it's sounding on your end. We're just gonna test the audio before we really kick off and make sure we're sounding good. Because we want to make it. I know I was in the background. I heard our guest audio, and I was like, "Dang, we got some good audio tonight."
Yeah, he's sounds fantastic. Okay,
How's
I think we're
yours?
good.
You're good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right.
Hello and welcome everyone to season 7 of the Melodies and Memories podcast. I'm your co-host Jillian Schreiber.
Yeah, I'm host Aaron Schreiber.
Our mission tonight is to provide a platform for motivated singers, songwriters, passionate fans, or someone who's making a difference in and around the music community. We hope everyone listening leaves inspired with a positive outlook and begins connecting their own melodies to memories. Tonight, we're presented by our good friends at Arlo Revolution. Cinematic wedding films, music videos, and promos. Find them at arlorevolution.com. One tree planted for every 1,000 downloads of the show. We plant a tree with one tree planted. Download the show on your favorite podcast app. And Pod Decks. Pod Decks are the hottest tool to get your next great interview question. Interview questions at the palm of your hand. Our on-screen sponsors are Art on a Higher Wire by Joelle. Original and custom artwork inspired by your life moments, treasured photos, and memories. Looking for ways to support or sponsor our Melodies and Memories music media? Then head on over to our Patreon page where tiers start at just $1 a month. The next best way to support the show is to like, share, review, and subscribe. Remember, you can join us live every Monday and Wednesday, sometimes, nights at 7 p.m. Central on Facebook and YouTube, where we can interact with the show, ask questions, and join in on the live chat with your favorite guests. Visit our website at melodiesandmemories.com for music news, concert reviews, and photos, playlists, and more.
That's what you get for chasing dogs around.
I know, I'm out of breath.
One dog had another dog pinned like 2 minutes before we went live, and she was running up the stairs to try to wrestle the situation, I guess, away.
We have a little dog and a big dog, and the big dog likes to sit on the little dog. And I knew that bark. Somebody was pinned.
I'm very excited, like I said, for tonight's show. Man, it's probably been almost 2 years now, or a year and a half ago or so. I went down to Nashville for one of Ray's Rowdy's, Rowdy on the Row, and our good friend Hunter Thomas Mouse was actually had his own little round at that one. And this is when I first heard our tonight's guest, and it just blew me away. The stories he was telling, the songs he was singing, was just something special. So tonight we are welcoming Matt Jordan for episode 157. Matt is a singer-songwriter, husband, and father who has achieved success in all of his endeavors through hard work and dedication. Matt's grind and hustle is an example to all aspiring musicians. His drive to reach his goals is undeniable, and his dedication to his craft is unmatched. He has achieved an impressive level of success and as an artist and a family man. Through his commitment to hard work, Matt is a shining example of what can be achieved when one works hard and puts in the effort to make their dreams a reality. Tonight, we are honored to discuss the melodies and memories that make up his journey. We're going to welcome Matt Jordan on. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
See, I already love your audio. I heard it earlier. I was like, yes.
Sound good?
Yes, dude.
Good.
Man, we are excited to have you on tonight, dude. Like I said, ever since that Ray's Rowdy event, and I first heard you, I've been following you around, dude, and just been impressive to see the growth you've already had since that. And I was just like, man, we got to have this guy on the show.
Thanks,
and talk to him and just get his journey.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't realize you were there. I don't think we met that night, did we?
I don't know if we met that night. I was talking with Hunter a little bit. I forgot which one that was, but I remember going down for that one. But dude, this is a very amazing round. And that's what kind of led us to start doing rounds too. So now we got, I think, our 5th one this weekend. On Sunday, we're doing one. So
that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for it. So we like to kind of start the show off the same way every week and just get your earliest music memory, dude. Like, kind of like what your parents are listening to, or what you're raised up on. Something that was really cool that when I was researching for this show, I read that your dad really focused on the lyrics, and that was something my dad did. Like I remember when I was a kid, opening up the cassette tapes and reading the liner notes and all the lyrics inside there. So that was something cool that I kind of connected with you on. But just tell me what kind of how growing up around music was.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was it. It was like my dad was a hobby songwriter when he was a teenager and into college and things like that. And he says to this day, if he could have done one thing professionally, he would have wanted to be a songwriter. But he was all about the lyrics, and so I remember driving around town in his Forerunner as a kid, and just windows down, blasting "Dancing in the Dark" by Bruce Springsteen and "Shape of a Heart" by Jackson Browne and stuff like that. And he was never calling out like, "Hey, listen to this guitar solo." It was always, "Listen to this line." And so I mean, I was 6-7 years old when I remember that, and so as I started to kind of develop my own taste in music as I got older, it was listening to lyrics, and so I started writing lyrics well before I started playing guitar halfway decently or singing halfway decently, and it was largely because of my dad's influence.
I love that, man. That's cool because that's like I said, there's a lot of what my dad was like kind of raising me up on. It was like a lot of the classic rock. He's like, dude, you gotta listen to these lyrics, you gotta study the song and just kind of dig deep into that.
Yeah.
But what was your first concert experience? We like to get that one out of the way too and talk about some concerts for a minute before we really jump into your journey. So what was kind of like your first concert, or who was it? What was it like?
The first concert I remember was Don Henley from the Eagles on a solo tour in St. Louis. And I really didn't know who he was at the time. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I'd heard some of the Eagles songs my dad played, but they just kind of brought the kids along for, date night, I guess. And I just remember walking out and he was playing, when we were walking in, he was playing that song Dirty Laundry. And it was like this real 80s pop rock thing. And I was into it, man. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then I feel like I went a few years there without going to live music and started really going to concerts, my teenage years. Started going to my concerts, Eric Church and those guys,
Oh yeah. Dude, I think we've probably crossed paths at a few Eric Church shows. So all this stuff behind my head is all Eric Church memorabilia.
Is that right?
Everything you see is all Eric Church stuff that we've had.
That's awesome.
I've collected over years. But I went down to St. Louis. Like I saw him at the pageant a couple of times.
No kidding.
There. Yeah, way back when.
Great venue. I didn't ever see him there. That would have been cool to see him at that size venue.
Or 08, somewhere around there. Yeah, dude. I just some those early shows. One that kind of stuck out to me though when I was looking into the show is you saw Tom Petty at Wrigley, man. Yeah. You got to tell me a little bit about that because my dad and we had tickets to see Tom Petty right after he performed on the Super Bowl, and something happened. We ended up selling them. We're gonna go up to Detroit and see him. And my dad and I never saw him, and I still kick myself in the ass to this day that I never saw Petty. Man, you got to talk about him at Wrigley, dude.
Yeah, it was the best show I've ever seen. I'm a huge Petty guy. My dad, he kind of raised me on Petty, but I really got into Petty in my late teen, early adult years on my own. I would say he's my favorite of all time. And so he hadn't toured in a couple years back when in 2017 or whenever it was that he announced that tour. I was like, I got to go get a ticket. I haven't been a fan of this guy really since he's been on the road last, Yeah. And he was getting older and with guys of that generation, I try to go see him if I can because you just never know how long they're going to be doing it,
Mm-hmm.
So I got to see him in St. Louis first. The 2 days after my daughter was born, my wife's like, go. We were literally in the hospital. She's like, just go. I know you want to be there. You can't do anything for me right now. So I went. And then a couple months later, he went to Wrigley. And Chicago's only 5 hours from us. It wasn't bad. So me and my brother and sister flew up there and went to see him at Wrigley. And Chris Stapleton opened, which was, pretty hard to beat. I mean, kind of the perfect show, right?
Yeah, I like concerts at Wrigley. They're all right. We live in Chicago, so we live like in between Chicago and Milwaukee. I am scoring Bruce Springsteen tickets at Wrigley this year, so
nice.
I'm really excited for that. We'll see what happens. So
yeah, it was cool. And it started raining halfway through Petty's set, and we were just under the cover, so we were fine, but it was dumping down and on front. Yeah. It was really cool. It was just a cool vibe.
We got evacuated.
That happened to us.
Pearl Jam.
I was like, that happened to us. and they stopped the show.
It's like a 3-hour rain delay.
Yeah, it was like a 3 hour. I mean, they didn't restart the show till like
midnight.
No kidding.
Oh my God, we were there till like 2 or 3 in the morning. People were sleeping. It was
that's
ridiculous.
wild. I can't believe they can play that late. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, see, they extended the curfew for some. I don't know what
it was. A tornado or something. It was like severe weather. They had to evacuate us.
Yeah, they had to evacuate the whole stadium, and then Ernie Banks was there. So I think that was a thing because right after the rain delay, like right at midnight, they brought Ernie Banks on stage, and Eddie Vedder sang a Cubs song.
Well, he's a big Cubs guy too.
Yeah, so I think I just think he had a little bit leeway, I guess.
Oh my God, that was
cool.
like a 10-hour concert.
That's pretty cool.
Oh my God, I was so tired.
But so you started a band in high school, and of course with these influences, man, why not start a damn band? Because you honestly, Petty, Springsteen, you bring in even to Jackson Brown. I'm a huge Jackson Brown guy, dude.
Oh yeah.
But you started a band in high school. But before that, when did you really start picking up the guitar? What kind of got you playing music?
Yeah, man. So I'm the youngest of 3 kids. And I'm super close with both my siblings. And when I was the baby in the family, I became the drummer, right? My brother and sister both sang. They played guitar and piano, so I was the drummer. So the 3 of us would just kind of jam in our basement and stuff like that. And I took guitar lessons when I was like young, 6 to probably 10 years old. Like never really got that into it. I was a drummer. I like hitting things, you know. And then when my brother and sister went off to college, they were my best friends. So like I had a lot of free time, you know, my friends were gone. So I had a lot of time to kill, and I started picking up guitar a little bit more because drums isn't that fun to play by yourself. So I started playing guitar more, and that's really when I started writing. I was 16 or 17, I guess, and they were both off at school, and I just kind of got into it and had a couple friends at our school who played drums better than me and a good guitarist. And I figured I might as well try to be the singer. I was pretty bad, but that's how high school bands go, I guess, you know.
Right.
Hey, in high school, I started a Blink-182 cover band for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We lasted just a little bit longer than your band, but not a whole lot.
So I mean, this is cool because you gotta start somewhere. So for songwriting for you, when did you really get into songwriting? Did you kind of have any poetry experience before that? Any journals or anything before you started writing?
No, man, honestly, I didn't. Like, I never have written poetry or anything like that. My favorite topic in high school was English. I liked creative writing, but it was never something I did like in my free time. It was just the only school thing I enjoyed to do. But it was really just music, man. I mean, I got into writing because I listened to good writers, and so I decided I wanted to be a good writer, you know. And it was Springsteen and Jackson Brown and those guys, and then I found Eric Church and Kip Moore and some of those guys who really reminded me of Springsteen.
The storyteller.
It was kind of like, yeah, they're storytellers.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, if this is country music, sign me up. You know, like that's what I love about country music is the storytelling. And it was a really good era there, 07 to 2011. You know, I thought, and so I started diving deep into those guys too. And that's still the stuff that inspires me.
Do you still remember the first song you wrote?
Oh man, I probably do, but I'm not going to share any of it with you. I can tell you that.
Do you ever remember that first?
I do have. I got a shelf back there on the other side of that wall with a bunch of old songwriting notebooks, and one of them is the first songwriting notebook I had for my sophomore year of high school, and it's pretty painful to go back and look through.
I still got my high school, my poetry books and stuff. I look at them like, man, I had some dark days back then.
Yeah.
Teenage years.
I'm telling you.
You think you've experienced everything.
That's exactly it. It's all embarrassing. It's like, this is so lovey-dovey, and like I just had a crush on this girl. It's embarrassing.
Well, it must have been the Metallica days in the late 90s. So after high school, you is that when you went out to Nashville to go to Belmont? Was right after high school?
So I started college at Butler University up in Indianapolis, which is where my brother went. I followed him, and I loved it. That was a great place. My dad has family in Indiana. We had some friends up there and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. But I was starting to get more into the writing and taking it a little bit more seriously my first 2 years of college. And partway through my sophomore year of college, my dad was like, Matt, if you're ever going to go to Nashville, you should do it now because you're going to graduate and you're going to go into business and you're never going to take a chance at this thing. And if you're ever going to try it, now's the time. And I thought about it a lot and decided to pull the trigger and transfer to Belmont, which was a really hard decision because I really did love Butler so much. Yeah. But I'm glad I did it. It was he was right. I wouldn't have done it after graduation, you know, and it changed everything for me.
And
Yeah.
Belmont has so. I mean, I know Butler too, but Belmont has such history with music.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to be there. I was honestly, it was really intimidating. Going from St. Louis to Indianapolis, both of which have their own, music scenes happening, but you
Mhm.
can't really get into those till you're 21, and I was 19 at the time.
Right.
And then moving to Nashville, it was like, oh, everybody here is really good at this,
Mm.
Pretty quick, I realized I didn't have any business being there, so I just had to kind of figure it out.
Was that your first time in Nashville, or did you visit prior to that at all?
I had traveled a little bit there, touring Belmont and trying to get some advice from some mentors and industry people just to try to figure out if it made sense to move or not. But I wasn't familiar with it yet, and moving there and going out to rounds and playing rounds and that kind of thing. It was pretty eye opening that there's a lot of talent in this world.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
your first
for sure.
round you ever played in Nashville? Do you remember what it was?
It was at Belcourt Taps. I don't even know if that exists anymore.
I think it might still be out there.
I don't remember who put it on or anything, but it was at Belcourt Taps and just a couple buddies of mine. Yeah, it was fun.
Hell yeah, dude! It's always fun watching these rounds. That's like I said, we got one Sunday. And that's how we kind of came across your music too. Was that round, and it's just cool to see hear the stories because you can't really go many. If you go to Broadway, you're gonna hear cover songs. That's all you're gonna hear down on Broadway.
Yeah.
So you gotta go up to Midtown up there and actually hear where the songs are being made and where they're being born and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's why I love these writers rounds because I know another one Ray's Roddy did. They had Luke Combs on and he sang Joe, and that was probably been like a year and a half or so. And now the song just came out, so it's kind of cool to see a song born and then where it goes to.
Yeah, man, it's all about the story. That's what I love about rounds. And I sometimes when I'm playing full band spots with my band and opening for somebody, I have a tendency to tell too much of the story. It's like our job's to get the crowd pumped up and energetic, and I'm sitting there telling stories because that's what it's all about to me, And I've had friends comment before, like, "Hey, man, like a little long-winded between those two songs." So gotta rein that in, I guess.
So important to get the
you
story
gotta blame
out
that
there.
on your roots, though, man.
Okay.
You gotta blame it on those guys that you grew up, like you said, the storytellers.
That's right, man. That's so true.
So, how long were you in Nashville for? Till you finally went back to St. Louis?
I lived there for about 3 years, I think.
Okay.
Graduated from Belmont and stayed about a year after graduation, and then moved back to St. Louis.
Was it a tough decision moving back?
It just felt right at the time. My wife and I were just talking about this recently. Like she lived down there, obviously, and she went to school down there, and we just kind of made the decision. It wasn't like a long thing we talked about a lot. It was like, hey, like we're probably gonna move home, right? And it was like, yeah, I think so. And so we just kind of did it. And then we got home and it was like, shit, what do we do? At first. And we've really settled in and we're really comfortable here now. But it was really hard when we first moved home.
So did she move to Nashville with you? When did you guys first meet?
We met over Christmas break, my sophomore year of college, right before I was transferring down to Belmont. So she was at Vanderbilt already.
Okay.
And I had just kind of made the decision, and my brother and his girlfriend, now wife, introduced us over Christmas break. And I was like, hey, I'm thinking about coming to Belmont next year. And so we kind of got talking that whole semester. It worked out very well.
Oh, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
That's like Jillian and I. We moved down to Mississippi. We're down there, 5 years, I think. And we always knew we'd come back home one day. We just never knew when the day was, what the situation was going to be, or anything else. But we always knew we'd probably come back one day.
Yeah.
So do you ever have any regrets leaving Nashville at all?
For a little while, I did, for sure. It was really lonely when I moved home. All my high school friends had moved away. They were at college and staying in their college towns and getting jobs in big cities and things like that. Kind of same thing for Jen and her high school friends. So we kind of came back and it was just family here. And I was this guy who still wanted to do something in music, and I didn't know where the music scene was in St. Louis yet. I'd never been a part of it. And so it was super lonely. I kind of felt like a black sheep, trying to be a musician in a non-music town. And I regretted it at first. Looking back now, it was the right move for us. We probably could have waited a couple years longer to move back, but both of our families are here, and that's super important to us. And it was. I don't regret it now. Now that I've kind of found my people in St. Louis, and I still have my Nashville thing going on, but I have a really good community of musicians in St. Louis now, and that's really made a big difference.
It's not like it's 10 hours away either.
Yeah,
like,
it's super easy
to get back. Yeah, definitely. You get back down there pretty easy. So it's always, hey, why not, right? You got to do what you got to do, dude. This is guy.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
love it. So you finally got your debut full length album, The Gamble, out last
sir.
fall. Tell me about finally getting that out there in the world and having, after so many years of just grinding and doing it, finally having a full length album out. And dude, you co-wrote every single song but one. So it's like your own like Eric Church world here, because that's just kind of like you gotta have a part on it. But also I love how you kind of made it a concept album in a way, like it tells a story. So man, tell me a little bit about getting that album out and just working on it.
Yeah, man, it was the most creatively inspiring thing I've ever done. You know, I've been releasing music for a lot of years. Quite a bit of music came out before I ever put out an album, and I think I was honestly just kind of adapting to the world. Like, it's a single driven world, and you're just trying to get on playlists on Spotify and have something break, you know. And at some point, my one of my go-to co-writers, who wrote almost every song on The Gamble with me, Jarrett Hartness, we were just talking, and we had been writing a bunch of songs, and I was like, man, I think I'm starting to see like a project. Some of these kind of have the same vibe, and they're telling each other stories and things like that. And you know, you want to chase an album? And he's like, yeah, I think we're halfway there, man. Like, I think we have half an album. Let's finish it off, you know. And that's kind of how we decided to write an album. It was like the songs kind of came to us, and we realized they all work together. And as we were deciding what else we needed to write and what songs we were going to cut and things like that, we really saw this like kind of story shaping. And yeah, I think it's, to me, you know, Jarrett and I we're kindred spirits. You know, like, we had kind of broken pasts, and we were, you know, pretty angsty young men, and both kind of settled down a little bit as we've gotten older, and have a different perspective on life now. And I think that's the story of the album. You know, the first half of it, if you listen, it's angst and restlessness and heartbreak into redemption and contentment, you know, and that's kind of my life story. So that was kind of the reason we chose the songs we did for that album.
I love that. And you finally put out the deluxe album just recently. Here was February. But that was kind of always available on CD format though, wasn't it?
Yes, I sell the CDs at shows that's been the deluxe version since October, but it just came out digitally in February. Yeah.
Nice. I love that. So hey, man, it's cool. If you've been out to a show, you see them, you got a little sneak peek of
That's right. That's right. You hear the songs before everybody else.
Yeah. So you gotta go see the guy first. Yeah.
That's right. I gotta incentivize ticket sales, man.
We're getting it. We're pushing them for you. So
I appreciate it.
You play a lot around St. Louis, or kind of what do you got? Where shows do you got? Like, where do you play a lot?
We're trying to not pigeonhole ourselves in St. Louis. I think it's really easy here to play. If we wanted to, we could be playing somewhere in St. Louis every weekend, but I don't want to burn out my hometown crowd, you know. So this past year, we were very fortunate to get to play a lot around the Midwest. A lot of some St. Louis stuff, a lot of Missouri stuff, a lot of Illinois stuff, some Oklahoma, Arkansas, Indiana, kind of just branching out from St. Louis. We're in a really good location. We're a 5-hour drive from like 10 pretty major cities, which is really cool. So we're just kind of trying to expand and be the guys doing it in the Midwest, you know.
Look into Carol's Pub in Chicago. I think you'd fit perfect in there. Have you never heard of the place before? But
I've heard of it. I've never looked into it though.
You go online and you could submit online. They have a thing where you can submit to play carols, and
is that right?
It kind of like says right there, if we like you, we'll contact you. If you don't hear from us, sorry.
I will.
It's one of those type things. But dude, honestly, I've seen you out playing, and I think you'd fit perfect, and that'd be a perfect venue for you.
I'll do that because I'm kind of in the thick of booking work right now, so I will do that.
But this is an old school 1970s pub. Still looks like it's from the 70s.
Draws good crowds.
Yeah.
It's got a good vibe. Yeah, it's a cool place.
One of the up and coming places in Chicago.
A lot of country acts come through.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll apply to that for sure. It'd be fun.
So what do you have on the books for 2023? Like where are you going right now? What are you doing? You can work on any new music? I mean, what's
man. I actually just got back from Nashville a week and a half or two ago, recording some new stuff. And I got a project coming that I'm really excited about that I can't if I say what it is right now, it's gonna be way too early and people
what happened
to that, you know. But I am working on something that I'm really excited about. Yeah, I need to do that. I do have some new music coming before this whole project, but there is something coming out that'll be really cool this year that I'm working on and building right now. And then started really getting back to booking here in the last week. I've been dealing with like a pretty serious back injury most of 2023, and I'm like just now at a place where I can actually get on stage again.
Yes.
So yeah, hoping to get some more stuff lined up in the Midwest again this year, and maybe branch out a little bit. Get down to the Southeast and maybe a little bit north of here too.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice. Just make sure you don't come up any further north in the wintertime.
Oh, I'm waiting. No, dude, it's like May to September. That's all I'm coming to Chicago area for.
In December, you gotta go south, and then
Yeah.
you gotta just make sure, because I know we talked to Little Church. Church used to do ass backwards all the damn time.
He do the north.
He would tour the Canada in the wintertime and
Yeah.
and the South in the summertime. I was like, what are you
We'd
doing,
always end up
dude?
in a snowstorm or an
I
ice.
came up for that church club fan party thing last year. It was like middle of March, and it was like snowing and
Yeah.
below zero. I was
Yeah,
like,
you
nah.
played
That's right.
Staples event, the fan
Yeah.
club party event.
Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Freezing, man. It was like middle of March, and it was still freezing. It was like, I'm out, man. We're not
Maybe-
that far south of you, and it's significantly warmer here.
I don't know if it snowed that night. 'Cause I was supposed to go, and something happened.
It's
I
because
didn't go.
we're right by the lake, so you get that lake.
Yeah, I get that wind.
snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't able to. I can't remember what we had. Something
Yeah,
happened.
something-
We weren't able to go.
I don't know what it was. So, oh well.
It was cold.
I don't know. It's like it gets colder in Chicago for some reason than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's rough, man. It's beautiful, but it's rough. It's
Yeah.
cold.
We got good food and some good music at times, but damn, man, it gets cold. So we're gonna move on to our sponsored part of the night, the Powered by Project section. We pulled a couple cards earlier, and our first one was, what did your 15-year-old self imagine you'd be doing right now?
My 15-year-old self imagined I would be running a business with my brother. I don't know what that would have been at 15, but it would have been something in the business world. My 16-year-old self would have thought I'd be a songwriter. That was the age that I changed my mind on everything.
Yeah, all right. That was a
Those
good age.
formative
there, all right.
years.
Yeah, that was a big year for me.
That's cool, man. If someone asked you to give them a random piece of advice, what would you say?
About the music industry?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's cool about music?
About the music industry, I would say just ship your product. Don't wait till you're perfect. Just release stuff. Get out there and do the thing. You know, I think a lot of people sit around and wait till they're ready, and no one's ever really ready. So just get out there and do it.
Oh yeah, man. All right. So this next part, you're gonna like this one. So this is where we get a little fun before we get you to play a song. But so we picked 4 songs. I kind of did a little bit of research, and first memory you have with this song, we'll talk about real quick. Hit the yellow one. Had to throw a church song in there. So my hometown, Eric Church. When you hear that or any Eric Church song, man, where's it take you?
So hometown specifically, I think I had just moved to Nashville. It was like the fall of me moving to Nashville, and I really got to be a Church fan on the Chief record, like everybody else in the world. Sorry. And hometown was one of the singles that fall, I think, before the Outsiders record came out. And I remember pulling into my parking garage in my apartment off of Music Row, hearing that song, being like, this guy doesn't miss. He's just on a different level than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's kind of where this whole podcast started too. We're just diehard Eric Church fans, and that's where we came up from. And I've seen him a bunch of times, and we started interviewing just random fans in his fan club for a while. And then next thing we know, we're interviewing singer songwriters. Like, we love how it grew into that.
Man, he changed everything, dude. Yeah. Really, he was so influential on my generation of songwriters.
And I've talked to a few people about that, and I really see that. I think that he's changed the game a lot. In a way, he's always stayed true to the craft of just songwriting, storytelling, and just putting the songs out that he wanted to do and doing it his way. And I think that's where it's got him to the point where he is on like Bruce Springsteen level. Like I keep saying, he's our generation's Bruce Springsteen. So
yeah, he's probably about as close as we've got. That's true.
And he's playing the night after Bruce is playing Chicago. So
I saw that, man.
I'm doing.
Are you going to both?
Doing both.
Well, we're gonna try to do both.
Well, I got tickets for Bruce. I still gotta get tickets for church,
tickets,
but I don't even care if it's lawn seats. I'm gonna do Bruce and Eric back-to-back nights. Dude,
that would be unbelievable. That would be unforgettable.
Yeah, it's just like,
golly,
you gotta put the Boss of the Chief back-to-back. It's just like,
you can't beat that weekend. I mean, it's the best weekend of your life right there.
I'll be living on high for sure, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
I'm trying to I have a cousin in West Virginia who's a diehard Bruce Springsteen fan. I'm trying to get him to come to both with me. Be like, all right,
I don't think he's ever seen Eric, has he?
Oh yeah, he's never seen Eric. I've never seen Bruce, so it'd be kind of cool to
Have you never seen Bruce? Really?
Yeah, that's me my first show. I don't know how I ended up with. I think I handed up some handicap seats. So we'll have to see what happens for that show.
Yeah, you
because
bought 'em
tickets sold out so quick. I was just buying whatever.
I just saw Bruce a couple weeks ago in Kansas City, and
nice, dude.
he's
Was it your first
unbelievable.
time seeing him, or
No, I've actually gotten to see him a couple times. It was the
Okay.
best show I've seen though. He
Nice.
played more songs that people know.
Yeah, I hear some of these guys are just getting better with age these days. So
It's pretty incredible what he can do at 73 or 4, whatever he is. It's pretty wild.
can't believe it. I saw Kiss finally announce their last 20 or 50 shows. I'm like, man, dude, I was like, they're in almost their 80s. I think one of them was like 77. I'm like, this is insane how they could still do. All right, you're gonna like this next one. Hit the green one. So I'm just gonna go with Nelly in general. You're a St. Louis kid. I'm sure you got into Nelly back in the day. When you hear it,
7th grade school mixer, absolutely. Trying to work up the nerve to go ask the girl to dance. Nelly was the hero in St. Louis, man.
Yeah, that's why when I was looking, I'm like, I gotta throw a Nelly in the here for this guy because I gotta see if he had any Nelly stories from back in the day.
Actually Nelly grew up. I grew up really close to his old mansion. Like he lived up on this hill that overlooked like my hometown, and it was like we could like see it in the fall. You could see his giant mansion, and
Cool.
and then I had a friend who a kid I went to school with ended up buying it when Nelly moved, and we're kind of buddies, and he'd be like, oh, you should like come hang out and play on the basketball court and stuff. But I was like kind of freaked out to go up there. It seemed weird to me, so never did.
Right.
I remember going to a haunted house one time. It was like a B96 radio thing we had, and Nelly opened up the haunted house. Like there was a concert, then he had the opening of the haunted house. I'm like, all right, that's
No
cool.
kidding.
First album, he still had the Band-Aid on the face.
Yeah, man. Dude, Nelly, he had some good stuff back in the day.
It was a fun show. So even now these days, he still does some good stuff.
Yeah, he's kind of had a resurgence here in the last couple of years. That's true.
Didn't he play with?
We saw him with, it was Florida, Georgia.
Wrigley.
Yeah, Wrigley Field. It was Florida, Georgia Line, Backstreet Boys, and Nelly.
That was a good show.
I will honestly go on record and probably say that was one of the best endings of a concert I've ever seen because Nelly came out, played his, but he didn't do Hot in Here. I'm like, what the? That's your biggest song. Like, how can you not do that? Backstreet Boys came out. They never sang everybody. I was like, what is going on here? Well, then the encore was Nelly coming out to Hot in Here, introducing Backstreet Boys to everybody, and then Florida Georgia Line going to cruise with all of them. I'm like, that is cool as hell. Just a big mashup of all.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm like, I never seen that before.
That's pretty cool.
So I'll give it that. I was like, that was pretty cool to see that.
My high school self was giddy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was there. I took you in. I took you. I had to go, and I enjoyed it. It was all right.
I mean, Nelly stuff. Honestly, it is like a time machine for me. Like it does take me back to middle school, high school for sure.
Yep.
Dude. All right. So these next here, these are gonna hit you good. These are gonna be good ones. Green one. So won't back down, man. When you hear that one, where does it take you?
That was probably the first Tom Petty song I knew. I don't know. I will tell you this. This is kind of weird. One of the most clear memories I have around that song was I saw Ryan Bingham at the Ryman with Brian Fallon, who's the singer for the Gaslight Anthem. Mm-hmm. And they opened the show duetting that song, just one acoustic guitar and a harmonica, and it was incredible. Obviously, you can't beat Petty, but Bingham and Brian Fallon doing that together was really, really cool.
Oh, yeah. See? It's a hell of a memory, man.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. All right, hit the yellow one. Last one. Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go We've been talking Springsteen, so I had to throw one in there. I'm on fire. When you hear that, where does it take you, buddy?
That takes me back to being a kid in my dad's 4Runner, driving through our neighborhood. For sure. Like that Born in the USA album is what he would always play. That was the Bruce Springsteen that I really grew up with as a kid. And it was I'm on Fire, Dance in the Dark, Born in the USA, Glory Days, No Surrender. It was that stuff. So that one makes me that one puts me back to childhood for sure.
Oh man, I love it. Yeah, same thing. Dude, growing up, being in the backseat of the car and hearing Springsteen from my dad, and my mom would be thrown in the country like some Vince Gill or something. It's like, all right, well, a little best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too.
Yeah,
I think our kids are going to be very eclectic. We listen to a little everything.
Yeah, definitely.
I think our kids are going to be the same way
until they start playing Fortnite and listen to all these DJs now.
Oh my goodness gracious! Some of that Fortnite stuff.
Your kids play video games at all?
Are they all?
Not yet. My oldest is 5.
Okay.
and I don't know if she knows that video games exist.
Put them,
but-
don't let them know.
We have 2
I'm
boys.
not going to tell her. I'm going to try to avoid that as long as I can.
We have a 6-year-old and 8-year-old boys, and they love their Fortnite. So
Yeah.
Dad
No, I
tries
don't-
to play, and he gets
They
schooled.
kill us, man. They are good. It's insane. It's
I've
not
never
like
seen that
Nintendo.
game.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
No,
Not like Super Mario, a little more intense.
Right.
no, this kid he's a
All
ninja.
of them at this age.
A ninja at that game, man. All right, so here comes the fun part of the night, the hot seat we call it. I got 10 questions. First thing that comes to mind when I ask them to spit it out. We're gonna put 60-second timer in the background and see if we get through all of them. Your
right.
first CD or vinyl you ever purchased?
I think Switchfoot, the Beautiful Letdown album.
Nice. Your best vacation spot. If you're going on vacation, where are you going?
Utah. I love the mountains.
Nice. Who has the best pizza you ever had?
That's tough. I feel like I have to say Emos here in St. Louis. You Chicago people would hate me for that if you ever had it, but I think I'm going to say Emos in St. Louis.
I tried pizza everywhere, man. I still love pizza.
Don't try Emos if you come to St. Louis. I promise you won't like it.
I don't know. There's a pizza in West Virginia that I eat. They put the sauce. They only cook the sauce and the dough. They put the cheese and pepperoni on cold.
It's
so
all
you eat it cold.
uncooked cold.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's really good.
I don't think I get into that.
Yeah. What kind of contest would be fun to judge?
Shoot. Hot dog eating contest.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
We
I
haven't
don't know if
had
there's
that
any
one
judging to
before.
be done, but
Yeah, that's a new one.
You gotta win or
gotta
you
judge
don't.
how many the people are eating at
Make
a
sure they're
time.
not
Yeah.
cheating.
I would probably throw up judging that actually. But
The minute you said that,
Have you seen those videos? It immediately got an
no,
image
the
in my
minute he
face.
said that, Stand By Me from the pie eating contest,
Oh,
just came
sure.
to mind that movie. It's like, oh man, all right, I remember that scene. If you could live in any time period, when would it be?
80s.
Yes, I love it. What's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen?
My brother's home Wi-Fi is Keep Off, which I think is kind of funny.
That's a good one. What's the oldest thing you own?
Oof.
I love it. Everybody always looks around like, oh man.
I used to have, honestly, I just packed it up because we're about to move, but I have my grandpa's old Bible, which is probably from the 40s or 50s.
Cool.
Nice. That is awesome.
Mhm.
What chore do you not like doing?
Laundry. I hate folding laundry.
Dude, welcome to my club. I'll wash it and put it on the table and let her fold it.
That's us, man, for sure. Fortunately, I don't think Jenna hates that, so she probably
I-
does. She's really nice, though.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
If you could relive any day in your life, what would it be? That's a good one.
That's a good one. I think I have to say my wedding day, but my daughter being born is a close second.
Yeah.
Either one of those is really great.
Yeah, you never know. One of those 2 days are always those are
Yeah.
the hottest
It's
questions.
just the crazy
Yeah.
emotions, the high,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
lows all over the place.
The first kid is like, it would probably be the first kid.
Yeah.
That was such a
Yes.
high.
Yeah, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When you put scrubs on, you're going in, you're like,
You're
oh
going to
no.
surgery, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that was a wild one. So
Yeah.
what's an item that's still on your bucket list? Maybe in the music business. What's something that you want to achieve or accomplish before you kind of call it a day?
Man, there's a lot. I want to play the Ryman. I want to play Red Rocks. Those are the two dream venues. If I played those two, I would retire. I just said, I'm done. I did what I wanted to do.
Hell yeah,
Good.
man. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, Ryman, that'd be an
Super cool.
amazing place. I
Yeah.
still gotta get the Red Rocks for a show, dude.
It's
I'm kind of
incredible.
waiting for a good show. Maybe when church plays again, I'll have to head out that way.
That would be so good.
I missed the first round, so I'll have to catch the second round.
There you go.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, can we get you to sing one for us tonight?
Yeah, man.
The only rule we got is you got to kind of tell us a little backstory about the song, where it came from, kind of like a writer's round, a little bit.
All right, I will. So I write a lot with Jarrett Hartness, who wrote 8 of the 11 songs on the Gamble record, I think. And Jarrett lives in Arkansas right now. I live in St. Louis, and we're both back and forth in Nashville quite a bit, you know. And so for the last couple of years since he moved back to Arkansas, almost all of her writing's been on Zoom, which is great. Like there's some writers who don't want to write on Zoom and other guys who are fine with it, which really works out well for me because that's primarily what I do. So anyway, Jarrett and I have been writing on Zoom a lot the last couple of years. Last November 2021, Jarrett hit his head and got like a pretty bad brain injury. And it's like when we were writing the Gamble record, like it's when he hits his head and gets this brain injury. And so he's just been like through these seasons of like highs and lows, you know, recovering from this thing. And he'll go through seasons of just like manic episodes where he just like, he writes, like he can't sleep, he can't rest. He just like writes. And I'm the beneficiary. He sends me ideas and things like that as he's going through those episodes. And then he'll have a crash and he'll be out for a couple days and we won't write for a little bit. But when he goes through those, you know, he gets really creative and he's texting me at 2 a.m. and things like that. Anyway, long story short, one night he texts me. He's like, "Hey man, I started this idea." And he texts our buddy Justin Dukes on this text too. "Hey guys, I started this idea. I think there's something here. Would y'all be interested in writing it with me?" And I listened to it and it was really great. I texted him back. I was like, "I'd love to write it with you, but it feels a little bit country for what I do. But like, yeah, if you want me to just be a writer on it, I'd love to." Anyway, ended up being the title track of my debut album, The Gamble. We got done writing it and I was like, I've got to, if y'all are okay with it, I want to release that song. It's really special. So that's kind of how this one came about. It's called The Gamble.
All right, buddy, we'll give you the stage.
Never was a betting man, but I doubled down and went all in. Place my future right on you. Stakes were high, the chips they fell. I learned a lesson all too well. Sometimes you're just born to lose. And everybody told me I'd finally found the right left hand, but you folded on me in the end. So here I sit with nothing left, a broken heart and a aching head. Still ain't over you yet. A wild card like you is hard to handle. And all I've got to show is the thrill of the gamble. Chalk it up to my love. I never thought to call your bluff. The Queen of Hearts made a joker out of me. Deal of deals and a play of plays. Loving you's a loser's game. Oh, but I still can't believe. 'Cause everybody told me I'd finally found the right left hand, but you folded on me in the end. And here I sit with nothing left, broken heart and a aching head. Still ain't over you yet. A wild card like you is hard to handle. And all I've got to show is the thrill of the gamble. I'm still at the table, nothing left to hold. From the highest of high to the lowest of lows. A wild card like you is hard to handle. And all I've got to show is the thrill of the gamble.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Loved
Such a
it.
good song. See, that's what got me when I saw him on that writers round. I was like, dang, this guy got it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Dude, it's just the way you deliver songs, man. It's and that's why I love singer songwriters, because like anybody could, like, when you listen to, like, say Tim McGraw singing somebody else's song or whatever, it doesn't have the meaning behind it. You don't feel it in them singing. I don't feel sometimes. You gotta listen to the songwriter, where the song came from, where it was born, and that's when you get the true raw emotion. I got that tonight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Just amazing. Well, dude, thank you so much for spending an hour of your time with us tonight. We appreciate this. We had a blast, dude.
Man, thank y'all for having me. This was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So just to hear about your journey, where you've been, where you came from, and seeing the growth that you've had, dude, it's been amazing. And I wish you nothing but the best, dude. And
thank you. Thanks for giving me a platform.
When you play that rhyming, dude, we might have to be out there we might be on one of those church pews watching you. So
hey, if I get that booked, I'll shoot you an email and let you know. All right.
All right, man. Because we might have to be out there for that one. So
yeah, it'd be fun.
But hey, man, if you make it out to Nashville at all this year, let us know, because maybe we can get you on one of our rounds or something. We'll have to talk.
Yeah, I'll be down there, man, for sure. We'll make it happen.
So, all right, buddy. We have a great night, man. And
thanks,
say hey to those kids for us.
Well, you have a good night.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Thanks so much.
All right, buddy. Dude, he was awesome. He was fun.
Yeah, he was great.
Cool. Yeah, Matt.
Fun week.
It's really cool to know Matt ever since I saw Hunter join us earlier in the chat. So
yeah, hey Hunter, if you're still there.
Ever since Hunter kind of introduced me to him in that writers round, that writers round, I was just blown away. And honestly, that's what I heard tonight album is why I fell in love with his voice and fell in love with him in the first place.
Absolutely.
True, raw, amazing. Oh, I love it. All right. So we're gonna go back to our questions again.
I threw my sheet away.
Oh, good.
I don't think that counts.
I still got mine, so I got to throw you a curveball. So we've been trying to circle back on the shows the last couple of nights, or last couple of episodes. I think we might keep doing it.
How about we talk about last night? Let's talk about last night.
Well, we'll talk about last night in the review. Last night we actually got to go and see.
We got to go see Bowen Young.
We got to go see Bowen Young, who was supposed to be on the show a couple weeks ago, and it got rescheduled to March 10th. They're coming on, but we actually got to see them performing. Wow.
I mean,
for her to be shell shocked like that,
I was like, he's like, take notes, and I'm sitting there like mouth open, like they were incredible.
The storytelling,
absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
like I just cannot wait to talk to them.
Yeah, well, their story is phenomenal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna make sure we have a backup link for
read
that.
The review.
Yeah,
look at the pictures and read the review. It'll come out in the next couple days. But
we're gonna make sure we have a backup link that night.
It was absolutely incredible.
We have to make sure
not
we're
many
covered.
Yeah,
with their audio that night, because I think they're gonna be an amazing show too.
Yeah.
So they'll be on March 10th. But yeah, so let's circle back to those questions. What did your 15-year-old self think you'd be doing?
I don't remember being 15.
Come on.
Okay, I do remember. What was I
You're
doing?
probably working your
I was
first
working
job
at Great America, which is Six Flags for those of you who don't know. And I worked at Fiesta Fries or Fiesta Fries.
That's
at Fiesta Fries, and I did not care about. I was cheerleading and I was working and I was living my life. I don't know. I had no. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure when you were 15, you didn't want to be 40 doing fries.
I'm not 40.
Well, I'm not saying
okay,
you
let's
are.
be clear.
I'm not saying you are. I'm saying your future or your older self.
No, I don't know. I was just living my life. I really was. I wasn't super planning and, thinking about my future too much at that point in life.
All right.
I mean, I always wanted to be a nurse, so I knew I was going to do that. I just didn't know when, where, how, or how long it was going to take me. But
so
I was trying not to die of heat stroke.
Yeah. I've been there before, man. But
that was not an interesting answer. Sorry.
That was a good fry stand. See, I think mine.
Oh, no, that was a fantastic fry stand. We had
was.
the best fajitas
Mm-hmm.
I've ever. I mean, I can still taste it.
I know.
Talk about memories. I can still taste those fajitas. They were fantastic.
That's probably the first meal you ever cooked for me.
I probably didn't. No, I never cooked. I wasn't old enough to cook. I did the cotton candy machine.
There you go. I never got.
But I never got to cook. I was too young.
I think for me, when I was 15, it was. Well, this is March now. March of 1997 puts me 15. It's when I saw my very first concert, which was Kiss. We talk about that all the time. But I probably was leaving there thinking I want to do something with music. I want to do something around music, be somebody with music. So yeah, probably. So I've always wanted to do ever since I was probably 15. And then go figure, today they announced their final 50 shows. I'm like, oh no. No more Kiss.
That makes you feel old.
It's kind of funny. Like my obsession with Kiss goes way back. If we turn the cameras, you'd actually see like 4 3D. I don't know what you'd call these things.
They're like
fiberglass. No, I don't even know. They're whatever they are. Like heads of each of their heads of Kiss. So yeah, Kiss runs wild over here.
I remember searching all over Tarnation for those.
My mom got me the first one. My mom got me Star Child, and then we found the other
on
three.
eBay.
Yeah,
looking for them because you had to have the whole set.
All right, so the second one.
Those are worth some money.
Probably. If someone asked you to give them a random piece of advice, what would you say?
Don't spend all your money on memorabilia.
I'm looking at you like, don't think that you're over here. That's worth money. No, they're not.
They're not. It's about the memories. No, one piece of advice. Work hard, save your money, live your life, go on trips. Work hard.
I think mine is
love your family, love your children.
Do you. Don't listen to anybody else. Just do you. Do what feels right.
Yeah.
I tell that like the people I know, like new dads, like I would tell them like everybody could give you advice. Everybody in this world could give you advice, but until you learn how to do it yourself, you gotta learn how to do it.
I don't think you ever stop learning how to be a parent.
No, I mean that's what I told them. Like everybody's gonna do this, do that, do that, whatever. You can listen to 100 different ways. No, you're gonna learn it on your own. You're gonna learn it day to day, and there's like that meme always says, like when we were kids and our parents were in their 30s and 40s, like we thought they had it all figured out. No, they were learning it every single day.
They were like us behind closed doors. Okay, do we ground him? Do we not? What do we do?
Do we sell something off the wall? No.
Do we need to sell something to buy that for him? Like,
oh man. So yeah, I just like you just gotta learn on your own. I think that's my piece of advice if I give somebody any kind of advice. So.
Yeah, I don't think either of us thought we would be where we are today at 15.
No.
But
not at all.
It's been a pretty good life so far.
I'd say so. Other than when you find out your car is officially done.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah.
Anybody selling a car, let us know. We're in the market.
No, but thank you guys for sticking around and joining us tonight for episode 157 with Matt Jordan. The passion drive he has for music is unlike anything we've seen. Just talking with him tonight, getting to hear his journey, where he's going is just going to be, honestly, he wants to play the rhyme, and I think if he puts his mind to it, he could do it, and he will do it.
Yeah,
I feel very
He's got
confident
some great
for him.
Stuff.
The way he's a storyteller, and I love listening to the guy's music and stories. And if you ever get a chance to see him in a writer's round, it's just an amazing setting for him because he could sit down and he'd be a good house concert guy. If we ever kicked up our house concerts again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That'd be a fun one.
Like an intimate setting.
We should do that soon. I always say that. You give me that look. You're like, no. We used to have house concerts. This is a stage actually behind me. So yeah, we have a stage in our basement. So we should do it again.
That was pre-kids.
It'd be fun. But yeah, we want to wish Matt nothing but the best. I can't wait to see what he accomplishes in 2023 and beyond. Don't forget to catch up on everything you missed from tonight and past episodes over at melodiesmemories.com. And thank you for connecting Melodies and Memories. Make sure to join us live. I want to say March 6th. We'll probably be half asleep, but we're going to do it because we're going to Nashville this weekend. We're driving home and then doing a show that same night.
Yep.
But it's going to be a very special show. For the last couple of years, I've been doing concert photography a lot and getting into it. And we probably have the biggest concert photographer ever coming on the show.
We're so excited.
Yeah. So we are very excited for the next one. So make sure you tune in next Monday, March 6th, and we'll see you guys then.
The Melodies and Memories podcast with Jillian and Aaron Schreiber, brought to you by Arlo Revolution. As we close the book on another chapter, remember, music gives us soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Next week, Jillian and Aaron connect more melodies and memories with the fans and artists they love. Thank you for being a part of this musical journey, and we will see you next time on the Melodies and Memories podcast with Jillian and Aaron Schreiber.